Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of Standing Out, a podcast about sales, marketing, and leadership. I'm Trey Griggs, your host. So glad to have you with us today. We got a great guest. Can't wait to bring him on here in just a little bit. But before we do that, I've got a couple of announcements. First of all, it's good to be with you here on this Tuesday. We just had the Broker Carrier Summit last week. If you don't know what that is, you should definitely go to brokercarriersummit.com and check it out. We got the next one coming up. We're looking at Fort Worth in October, the 23rd through the 25th. Going to be a great event. Again, if you're a freight broker, if you're a carrier, especially small to medium size, this is a phenomenal opportunity to get to know like-minded partners in the industry. It's an event like no other. The golf tournament, the Post and Pray Classic, phenomenal. The lunch was great. Lunch and lanes where we got together with like flatbed carriers, with flatbed brokers. It was just phenomenal. The conversations, the networking events, Boots and Brews was a blast. And of course, Casino Night absolutely rocked. So we're going to have a good time down in Fort Worth. We'd love to see you down there. brokercarriersummit.com. Registration will open soon. I believe it's going to be on the 31st, so just a few weeks away. And we'd love to see you down in Fort Worth for the next Broker Carrier Summit. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is beta_podcast_network. You can see all of our content from this show, the short clips, the fun stuff, as well as our shows like Word on the Street, The Edge, and all those things as well. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss any of the content that we're putting out. All right. It is time for us to bring on our guests. Oh, but one more thing. Got to say thank you to our friends over at SPI Logistics. We appreciate them sponsoring this show so much. Listen, if you're a freight broker that's just tired of having your own MC and dealing with all the back office stuff, make sure you reach out to them at success.spi3pl.com. They've got the technology, systems, back office support to help you succeed. If you just love working with customers and love slinging freight and don't want to deal with paying carriers and all that kind of stuff, then they're a great option. Make sure you check them out again at success.spi3pl.com. Let them know that you heard about them right here on Standing Out. All right, our guest today, I've known this guy for a little while. I've been able to do some events with him. He is a keynote speaker and an author of several books, including the newest one that he just came out with, which is called The Call to Excellence. Please welcome to the show my good friend, Randy Fox.
Shout it on the count of three.
Dude, this is a great song. I knew this was your walk-up song. I forgot that was your walk-up song. That's a good one, man. Gotta love that.
Good stuff, man. I choose joy.
I know. I got to turn it up right now because check this out. Here we go. You know what that reminds me of? Man, I love that song so much. So this is kind of a sad story, but it also is a really cool story. So my brother-in-law's mother-in-law unfortunately passed away from ALS 5 years ago. She was alive for 6 years diagnosed with ALS, which is a pretty long time to be diagnosed. Yeah. But the slogan that she went with was choose joy. And she just talked about the fact that, every day, every one of us, we have the opportunity to choose joy if that's what we want. That's an option for us, no matter what our circumstances are. So I just remember that song. I remember going through that very difficult and painful time, physically and just emotionally as a family, and her always just having a smile on her face and t-shirts galore that just said choose joy. And it was just a great reminder. So, man, I love that song. Thank you for reminding me about that. That's awesome, man. How are you doing, my friend?
I am doing well, living the dream, as people say, right? And that's
it's been too long. It is. It's been too long, my friend. Been too long. I'm glad you got the memo for our outfits today. We look coordinated.
Blue.
We look like we're about ready to go play golf.
Brand there on Standing Out. We got the blue.
It does. It is pretty close. It looks like we're about to go play golf, which I think we should after this. We should just go play golf after this.
I agree. I don't know how far we have to fly right now to meet, but
it may be a late tea time, that's for sure. Hey, listen, before we get too deep into the show, got to ask you a question. Do you want a Standing Out coffee mug? Or do you want a Standing Out water bottle? We appreciate you being on the show. We're going to send you one.
Oh, the water bottle for sure. Because believe it or not, I don't drink coffee.
I don't either. And it's like our energy levels shock people when you tell them that. How many times have you told people you don't drink coffee and they're like, no way?
All the time. And there's a video of me like literally 10 years ago. I was being recorded and I literally said, no, I don't drink coffee. I literally wake up this way.
Yeah. Like, you don't want to see me on coffee. I mean, that'd be through the roof.
No, I appreciate it. I'll take the water bottle. Always can use one.
You're going to love that water bottle. It's a great water bottle. I've met probably 3 people like us that don't drink coffee that have ample energy And it's not a lot of us like that. So, it's a small fraternity of us that that kind of have that going on, which is pretty fun. All right, so listen, you just wrote a new book, man. You've written a couple of books. You're a keynote speaker. I've had the chance to work with you a couple of times and keynote speaking opportunities at events in the past, possibly some in the future. Man, I'm just excited about this new book. I've been reading through it. It's called The Call to Excellence. What prompted this? What prompted this idea, this thought? I know a lot of times when these books come around, there's an idea that just really crystallizes, and you have to write about it. What was it?
Yeah, well, and I think you remember the story. It's a signature story of mine from the book in the keynote, Silver Platter Service.
Yeah.
And that story, which, about a handful of years ago, really created what I call the Silver Platter movement, this representation that we can serve others so well, make such a huge impact on something really small, right? This flight attendant who, instead of collecting the trash with a trash bag, he collects the trash on a silver platter. And it shows that any of us can do something small that makes a big difference. And that is still a very powerful story. The people love that book and that keynote. But over the last several years, I've been really thinking about, how is it more than just a moment? How is it more than just one act of service? How do we sustain something that has an impact for us individually, collectively, as families, but professionally in our businesses? And it led me to excellence. And it just kind of percolated over some time. I said, I want to go beyond just a silver platter moment. I want to go to this gold standard. And the call to excellence, was born. And to be truthful, most of the books that I've written in the past have not taken me as long as this one. And I was very intentional about this one being a slower process. And if you're going to have the word excellence in your title, I think I needed the material to be excellence. And so I was really careful about what I was choosing. And it took, well over a year to put everything, together. And then we went into the, the final stages. But it's really this idea that we're going to pursue this excellence as an individual and then as a team, so that we can sustain something beyond even just a moment of great service that produces unbelievable results.
Yeah. I always loved, I think there's a quote out there that says something like, what was it? Excellence, therefore, is not an act, but a habit. I can't remember what you repeatedly do. Excellence, therefore, something along those lines. Excellence, therefore, is not an act, but a habit. I love the idea of excellence, because I really think that at the heart of who we are as people, we know what it means like to be excellent in the different areas of the different roles that we play. For example, I know what it looks like to be an excellent dad. The question is, am I going to do it? Am I going to do it? I know what it looks like to be an excellent husband. Am I going to do it? And so it's a call. It's a call and a commitment to be excellent. And it really shapes how you act all the time, not just in one particular moment. I love the idea.
Yeah. And when we think about leaders, and then you think about salespeople, and you think about what drives organizations, and like you said, families as well, it's a daily choice that, are we going to answer this call and we're going to pursue excellence or not? And there is this idea of excellence that's beyond just a single victory or just checking a box. As I say, it's like, you can get through a day. You can survive things. You can do your job or live that day, but that's not excellence. All right. Excellence is thriving. It's making a difference. It's making an ongoing impact. And as I say, that excellence is a continual pursuit of our thoughts, words, and actions being at their highest and best level. Well, to your point, you know what that means. And if it's not the highest and the best, then you have a choice to make. Am I going to learn and grow and pursue excellence? Or am I going to just accept average, status quo, getting by? And I really believe, as I've, like yourself, right? We travel often. We see thousands and thousands of people. And I truly believe that a lot of people are just figuring out a way to get through the day. And there's way more to life, and I think way more impact. And I think, wow, what a difference families, communities, and businesses would be if those that showed up every day said, I'm going to do everything that I can to be excellent and influence all those around me to be as excellent as they can be as well. It's really countercultural to how our world operates. And I that's why I'm excited about it. And I'm glad you're excited. I think those that are watching us probably will be as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing I love about excellence is that it really lends itself to being in love with the process more than the result, because we really don't have control over results.
Yeah, I think when it comes to results, we too often just look at the numbers, right? We just too often look at what that result might be, and we're not as focused as we need to be on the process. And I've said many times, I truly believe this, that you have to focus on people first and the process, and then the profit, if you will, the result, whatever that result might be, more or less takes care of itself. But too often we're just staring at the bottom line or staring at the outcome or staring at the results. And, you know, one of the things that I did is I refereed college ball for many years, and now I'm coaching youth sports. And of course, everybody wants to win. But if all you're doing is focused on winning, you're not focused on what it takes to win, which is the preparation and what you put into the process to be better. And that's what I love about, you know, excellence from that perspective, is that it's a continual process.
Yeah, I love that. I agree with that. And then one parts of the book that I liked is, you know, a lot of times we forget about fundamentals. We just forget about the easy stuff. You know, we're so focused on the big details, we forget about the small ones. And one of the parts in here, I think it's around chapter 5, you talk about be brilliant in the basics. And, you know, when you think about top athletes, when you think about Kobe Bryant, the Michael Jordans, and the people who are the best of the best, the Tiger Woods, the Serena Williams, the people who are the top of their industry, Tom Brady, they're always focused on the fundamentals, getting those fundamentals right. And when they're off, like a hitter, when a hitter's not hitting well, they go back to the fundamentals. How am I gripping the club? You know, like in golf, for example, how am I setting up my setup? Like they're just going back to the fundamentals. And I love that concept of be brilliant in the basics. It's something I want to put on my wall as a reminder. I love that phrase, man. That's so cool. That story with your friend must have been a kind of a crystallizing moment where, like, yes, that's exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, because we were talking about a lot of things more specific to being dads, but being great in our work that we do. And he mentioned that phrase, and I said, I want to use that phrase. Can I use that phrase? And then it was this unpack, right, of what are some of the basics that we need to get to. And I think too often we're just going through the day, right? Getting this task done, getting that task done. And it's like, and then you wonder, like, why is my life a wreck? Why am I always tired? What? Okay, so if you're tired, what's the basic? Figure out your sleep habit, right? What are you putting in your body? Are you working out? How much water are you drinking, right? We don't get into that into the book, but right, everything that's off has a basic fundamental that helps write it, you know, once again. And, you know, in the book, I do talk about one of them that's in there is consistency. That's one of the 3 that I highlight. And it doesn't matter what you're trying to accomplish. If you are not consistent, there will be no discipline for anything to last. And the pursuit of excellence depends upon consistency. That we just can't every once in a while do the right thing and then believe that we're going to have better results or better relationships. And we have to really be, and if there's any theme about this message, it's that you have to be intentional. You have to be intentional about being consistent in your basics, in your pursuit of excellence, because it doesn't just happen. And somebody said to me the other day, they're like, Randy, this sounds really hard. Even though you're saying being brilliant in the basics, it sounds hard. And I said, it is hard. That's why most people don't do it. So this is about helping people grow and be better, but also setting themselves apart and being different. offering better levels of service or improving relationships with your friends and your family by doing the hard work that over time suddenly becomes a habit and it won't feel as hard. But at the beginning, it's like the person that has not worked out in 4 months. Is that first workout going to be hard? Yeah. But after you work out every day, a month later, it's going to be easy. It's going to be a habit. It's going to be natural, and it's going to have the impacts that you want.
I had that recently with making our bed, which seems kind of silly, but I heard Admiral McCracken, I think his name is, and he talks about the power of making your bed. And
Yep.
I always had trouble making my bed in the morning. I don't know why. I just had trouble. And when I heard that, it really convicted me. Like, this is something easy. I can just do this in the morning. I can just make my bed. And so now that's the first thing I do is I make the bed. And now our girls are making their beds first thing in the morning. And it's like, it's become a habit now, something I actually look forward to. But that first week, you'd wake up like, oh, I got to make the bed. Oh, I got to make the bed. And now it's something I enjoy. I remember somebody said one time that until discipline becomes delight, you need help. You need accountability. You need support. You need encouragement. Discipline can become delight. And it kind of goes to like what Mike Tyson says, which is discipline is doing the thing that you hate, but doing it like you love it. Like that's always a mental battle. It's all mental, to make these things happen. I'll tell you, I love the idea of excellence so much that it's actually in our company name. Did you know that?
I did not.
Have I ever told you this?
No.
So Beta Consulting Group, the reason why we use the word beta, all right, is because about 14 years ago, I was on this kick to pursue excellence. This topic came to mind, and I was like, what does it look like to be excellent in my job as a dad, as a husband? I had small kids at the time, only married about 6 years at that time. And I came across this phrase, be excellent today. Like, it doesn't matter what happened yesterday, and I have no control over tomorrow, but today I can choose to be excellent. So I came up with this thing, be excellent today. It was an email address. I merged the E's and the T's. I thought I was being clever, but I was really being stupid. It doesn't work. Try to spell it. It's terrible. But when I started my company, I thought I want this to be a mantra, a part of who we are, like the DNA of who we are. And I want to encourage others, like our team members, our clients, our community, our network. I wanted them to have kind of the same feel. And so I had to come up with a letter or a word for the letter A for beta. I came up with Alliance. So beta stands for the Be Excellent Today Alliance. It's the group of people that are pursuing excellence every day together, to accomplish great things. So that's what beta actually stands for, is Be Excellent Today Alliance.
I did not know that, but I love it. I think that's awesome, because really, to your point, be excellent today, right? In this moment, what am I going to do today? What is before me today? And because we don't know what is going to hold for us, tomorrow, or how many more tomorrows we get. And I do think too, we spend a little bit too much time looking back and either celebrating past excellent moments for too long, or sitting and wallowing those that weren't. And we're trying to spend brain time on something that's over, instead of right now in this moment. Excellence, pursue it.
Right.
Constantly.
Be where your feet are. Yeah.
That's right.
Speaking of excellence, I have to bring this up because you're a former, NCAA women's basketball official. First of all, are you kind of bummed that you're not officiating women's basketball today? I mean, Caitlin Clark at Iowa, wouldn't you love to have some of those games?
I know. I have to admit, I had a little bit of an itch this year that it was like, wow, the game is changing. There's a lot of excitement in it. But I'm coaching youth girls in travel basketball. And so it's fun in a different way. I'm watching players who are in middle school that maybe they'll be the next Caitlin Clark, and I'm getting to be a part of the journey, differently. And so it's just a different season for me. I still love the game. I still watch a ton of games, and then, but it's just a different kind of joy now that, just completely different. But yeah, there's times that I still miss being on the court, getting yelled at by thousands of people.
Right. Speaking of having to be excellent, man, like officiating, boy, the only time that you're applauded is when nobody even knows you're there, because you did a good job officiating. I mean, that's pretty amazing. But yeah, the women's basketball games this year, especially NCAA, those are exciting. I mean, more women watched the NCAA women's final than men's final for the first time in the history of the tournament this year. It's crazy. by
is
a
pretty
lot, by
cool.
a big margin too, by like a 2-1 margin or something like that.
Yeah, and
One and a
I
half
think
times.
as these new players get into the WNBA, it's going to start to change things, and hopefully it'll change things, at the lower levels as well. So, but to your point, and I say it all the time to my athletes, Caitlin Clark is an incredible shooter, and she still misses over half of her shots. Yet, what does she keep doing? She keeps
Keep shooting.
perfecting her shot.
Right.
She keeps working on the excellence. She keeps shooting. She doesn't give up. She watches herself on film. The pursuit is always on.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
reality
Yeah.
is you're never going to be perfect. She's never going to make all of her shots for the rest of her life, but she doesn't
Nope.
give up and say, well, I missed, so I'm done. Right? It's the pursuit of excellence continues.
Yeah, she's a pretty good passer too, man. She's going to be a good player. And I hope that the WNBA does what the NBA did, which was about 10 years ago. The NBA started really developing each player's personal brand. The Steph Curry brand and the Kevin Durant and all these different brands, Giannis Antetokounmpo and now Luka Doncic and all these players. Like, I really hope they embrace that and let these players have their personal brands and help build them, because I think that's what really helped the NBA. I mean, Michael Jordan put the NBA on the map globally. It was a personal brand that led to the NBA exploding globally. So I hope that they do that. I hope that they let those ladies just keep doing what they're doing and being who they are. Because I mean, they're attracting a lot of eyeballs, a lot of people, and it's been a lot of fun to watch. So we'll have to see what happens with that. All right, Randy, listen, we like to have a little fun on the show, as always. You know this. So we've got to play a little game today. Today, we are playing a little game called Hot Takes. Randy, here's how it's going to work. Our producer is going to put a hot take up on the screen here in a banner, and you and I have to decide if we agree or disagree with it and why or why not. Are you ready to play?
I'm ready. And just so everybody knows, I have no idea what's coming. So here we go.
Neither do I. That's what makes it fun. Here we go. First hot take. Penguins prove that being a good parent is not just a human trait.
Wow. Okay. Honestly, I don't know.
Have you watched Happy
Penguins,
Feet?
but I don't know. I have to say I don't know enough about penguins. But if they are good parents, then I would say that I would agree.
My only experience with this is watching Happy Feet with my daughters. Have you watched Happy Feet? Are you familiar with this movie?
I'm familiar, but I have not watched it.
Well, you should watch it. It's a great movie, good music too. Songs from the 70s and 80s in there. What's funny about Happy Feet is that my kids didn't know that the songs in the movie were old songs because they were new to them. So I'm like, oh, that's been out a long time. They're like, what? They were so disappointed. But in that movie, it is pretty fascinating because, the dads stay home and do egg time and the moms go get fish and come back. And they, I think they mate for life and they're really kind of a family unit. So I would say yes, but I'm with you. My knowledge is quite limited on penguin parenthood. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. Next hot take. Hostels beat hotels for authentic travel stories.
Yeah, but I've gotten to the age that I don't want those stories. I'm just, I want a good hotel that there's some sound barrier that I can actually sleep.
Are you a hotel guy or an Airbnb guy? What do you prefer?
I am a hotel guy if I'm traveling. Now on a family vacation, I do like, I'll do a VRBO or something, rent a house or something for the family. But I tend to be a little particular because not everything is what it always appears to be.
Yeah. Hotel, it's more consistent. You kind of know what you're going to get. There might be a workout facility. There may be a breakfast, whether it's hot or cold, who knows. But I've turned into more of an Airbnb guy, and I've turned into that even on business because I like to get 4 or 5 of my friends like at an event and say, hey, let's jump into an Airbnb together, because then it's more fun at night, when you're hanging out playing cards or whatever, talking to people. I just hate being alone in a hotel room. It's miserable. Not a fan. Not a fan at all.
That I agree with. So I know we're not answering the exact question, but if the hospital
that's a hot take.
Airbnb, then I would say yes, it's more fun to be with other people.
Absolutely. Yeah. Being in a hotel room by yourself is miserable. That is a true hot take. All right. Next hot take. Let's see what we got here. Next one. Ravioli is just wet Pop-Tart soup.
No, I love ravioli.
Yes, me too.
If it comes out of a can with Chef Boyardee on it, I'm okay with that too.
Have you ever had St. Louis ravioli? We have toasted ravioli here. It's breaded. Yeah. It's really good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
that's
great
my favorite.
appetizer at a restaurant. Great
It
appetizer.
is. That is. Yeah, you cut it up. It doesn't fall apart usually. But I'm a fan of Chef Boyardee ravioli as well. I can live with that. I can live with ravioli out of a can. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
So I would have that over Pop-Tart.
Yeah, I would too. Although I do like Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts are not bad, but they're so sugary. Ooh, man, they're hard to eat both of those in the package. That's for sure. But like ravioli. Okay, next hot take is road trips trump flights for real adventure.
I'm going to say parts yes, but I like getting to places faster. And that's just me. I want to have my adventure kind of where that place is. I have a hard time sitting on the interstate in a car for 2 days, but I know you can create adventure along the way. But my family has kind of become more of a, hey, let's get there and see the people that we want to see or the thing that we want to do. So I do tend to be, and a little plug, like, Southwest, I got companion pass. My wife flies free. So it's kind of like, hey, bonus, we're getting on a plane.
So I'm going to assume that you've never been behind the wheel of an RV.
I have been behind like one of the little rental ones, but not the big one. That would be a different experience. Yes.
Yeah. See, we're an RV family, and I got to say, I would much rather drive the RV somewhere than fly there, honestly. I'd much rather enjoy that. There's no better way to view America than behind the wheel of a panoramic window in an RV. And driving slow because you don't care, let people go around you. You're in no rush. You're just chilling. That is the best way to have fun. You can stop anywhere and see national parks and all these amazing adventures, history, where it happened. I'm telling you, like, to me, I'm with this. And road trips definitely trump flights for me.
Now with the RV, that's different, right? Because now you got room for people inside to move around. You get, like you said, you can stay wherever you want, whenever you want.
You're happy. I mean, there's just so many wins with an RV. There's so many.
That qualifier changes my answer. that I say would be a lot more fun.
Way more fun. All right. Next hot take is drinking Coca-Cola is better when it's boiled. Have you ever had boiled soda?
I have not.
Me neither. Why would you do that?
I don't know. Now I'm going to have to go boil it to see.
Now I kind of want to try it just to say I have. I've never even thought about boiling Coca-Cola. Like,
oh my goodness, I don't know, but I do like a little refreshing Coke as it is. So I'm going to be leery about that after it's boiled.
Yeah, I'm not sure. See, I'm a Diet Coke with grenadine kind of a guy. That's my thing. A little Roy Rogers. I don't know about. I don't like hot drinks in general. The only hot drink that I like is hot chocolate. Nothing else. There's no other hot drink that I mean, hot cider's okay, maybe. Warm tea when it's just made out, like in the summer, is okay with some ice cubes in it. I'm not a fan of hot drinks, and I don't think I would like this. I don't think.
Yeah, I'm with you, brother. I don't think I would either. I don't like hot drinks, but
no.
Maybe there's somebody out there that does.
No, I don't want to know him. Yeah, I don't think I want to know him. We're not friends. We're not going to be friends. Okay, do we have any more hot takes? Let's see. Last one. Here we go. Last hot take is people who wear turtleneck sweaters should be locked up. 100%.
Okay, so the NCAA basketball tournament on the men's side, one of the 4 stations like True TV or whatever, the guy that was the host in the studio, he wore a different turtleneck every single day. And I'm like, dude, it's basketball. You're
1980
indoor,
called. They went there.
Turtleneck on. Yeah, I'm not a turtleneck fan. I grew up outside of Chicago, right? It can get cold there. Not a fan of turtlenecks.
Listen, the only turtleneck that I think is cool is the mock turtleneck that cousin Eddie wore in Christmas Vacation. That's the only one that I ever want to see again. Yeah. I don't want to see a turtleneck again. I can't. I was a 80s and 90s thing was the turtleneck. I owned a couple turtlenecks back in the day.
Yeah,
not wearing them again.
He had the little dark dickie underneath that one. It was just Clark. It's good. It's get yourself something real nice.
Really nice. That's right. Oh, it's so good. Yeah. So I'm not down with that. All right. Lastly, we always like to have a fun random question of the day. So today's random question of the day is, what would you eat if you could only eat one food for the rest of your life?
Pizza.
Yes, that is the correct answer. I can eat pizza every meal, every day, different toppings. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the most universal food, man. You get a little bread, you get some sauce, you get meat on there, vegetables. What else do you need? Breakfast
That's it.
pizza's good.
That's
Man.
it. Yeah, no doubt.
you and I
Hot,
can be friends.
cold, make it your
Doesn't
whatever.
matter.
Doesn't
That's
matter.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. There's so many different ways to have it. Thick, thin. I mean, there's so many varieties. Pizza is definitely the answer, man. We're synced on that. I love that. All right, well, that's good. Well, I'm glad we connected on that. All right, so couple of things real quick. So you're a keynote speaker. You're selling books. If somebody's looking for a great speaker, either for a corporate event or maybe a trade show or industry event, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you, my friend?
The website, foxpoint.net. Everything is there. Books, keynotes, information, videos. It's all at foxpoint.net. There's even a button that they can click to grab a 30-minute chat right on my live calendar link. So everything they need is there. Appreciate you offering that and checking it out.
Beautiful. Excellent. Make sure you pick up his recent book, The Call to Excellence by Randy Fox. Influential Leadership for Impactful Results. Randy, thanks so much for being with us today, man. Always appreciate you coming and being a part. We'll have to have you back on. We definitely have to hit the golf course soon, my friend.
Sounds good. This was a ton of fun, and I appreciate you having me. Have a great day, everybody.
All right, we'll see you soon, man. Hey, make sure you come back every Tuesday for an episode of Standing Out with great guests like Randy Fox and others. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss any of that content. And also, one more shout out to our friends over at SPI Logistics for sponsoring the show. Appreciate them. Check them out at success.spi3pl.com. Don't forget to sign up also for the TMSA Elevate Conference. It's coming up in just under a month. Can't wait for that event in New Orleans. It's going to be a great time. Go to events.tmsatoday.org to sign up for that. And until next time, remember, don't stand still, start standing out. See you soon.